got a bit of a cough, so if you can't hear me, sorry about that. Good evening. Thank you so much for inviting us to speak, and it's a real privilege to be speaking alongside such incredible other charities, and they are a tough act to follow, actually. I want to introduce myself. I'm Sarah. I'm the only member of S.A.F.E staff in the UK, and really, I think my job tonight is to introduce you to my phenomenal colleagues in Kenya and explain a little bit more about what they do every day to save lives. And in particular, tonight I'm going to talk about our project, like you said, in the Maasai, and why it's our responsibility. I think all of us have a vested interest in preserving this ancient, incredible culture and environment. So a little bit first about S.A.F.E. We stand for Sponsored Arts for Education. And we're really a family of 3 teams at the coast, in the Nairobi slums and Rift Valley, and in the Loita Hills with Maasai. What we do is we use really high quality, mobile, accessible street theatre and film and community programmes as a way of educating, inspiring and delivering social change. And it works because it's not preachy and because it really hits people in the heart. It makes people think about things in a new and a different way. It's accessible emotionally and physically. You don't have to pick up a pen or say you don't know anything, you don't have to be able to read, you can just seek out information through performance, and it makes you think more differently about your own choices. And I want to tell you a little bit about our environment programme. So this is S.A.F.E who are awesome. And this is a group who in 2007, a group of 15 Maasai men and women became our 3rd team. And they work out of Loita Hills, which is this incredibly remote rural area in the southwest of Kenya. And when I went there in March, it took us 8 hours to get into there and out again. There's no roads, there's no communication infrastructure, and that means that it's very insulated from external ideas and pressures. If you want change in this community, it has to be from the Maasai. Nothing really penetrates it and not much comes out. Everything has to be within. And the environment which the team live in, is the Loita, is incredible. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's this spectacular, unspoiled, very lush area of Kenya. Huge forests. And the reason I'm here is because it's under threat, and it's under threat from a number of environmental issues. Population size is increasing, deforestation, overgrazing, climate change, changes in weather, changes in drought cycles. There's all sorts of things that are affecting this environment at the moment. And it's important we save it, and really tonight I want to talk to you about just one environmental challenge, and apparently continuing a theme from earlier, I'm going to talk to you about cows. So, cows are more than cows. Cows are really important if you're Maasai. Cows are everything. They are currency, they are tokens of peace, they are social status. You're big Maasai man, depending on how many heads of livestock you've got. They define the rhythm of Maasai life. Cows are everything. Which means that people have really large herds, and that's wealth, material wealth, and it's insurance against future hardship. But the difficulty of all these millions of heads of livestock is that they take up a lot of space. Cows get everywhere, and it's unsustainable. You get huge overgrazing. Humans are clearing land and forest to make more space for grazing. And if you overgraze the land too much, then the grass doesn't go to seed, and so you're not able to sustain that many cows. And actually this is having huge impacts both upon the environment and upon the Maasai people, because when you haven't got enough grass regrowing for the cows to sustain, people lose entire herds of livestock. And in 2009 was actually the largest record of starvation of children in the area, in memory. So what are we doing about it? We're using performance as a way of challenging how people think about how they can protect this environment. So, Maasai faces an uncertain future unless they can become stewards of this land, and you can't just tell people to stop having cows, like that won't ever work. Cows are too important. So instead, the team know, because they are Maasai, they know you have to appeal to a deeper feeling, which is that of pride of being stewards of the land. That sense of really ownership of the land and really wanting to protect it for future generations is really important. So we're using theatre, we want to use theatre with your help to create a new piece which empowers people with the individual responsibility to become environmental champions. And through performance, you can do positive behaviour modelling. So these guys are pretty charismatic, and they're really, really, compelling. And they'll say, a great Maasai man is not one who has loads and loads of cattle. It's instead somebody who protects their environment and stops against overgrazing and protects the environment. So with your funding, what we're asking for tonight is the money to develop a new performance that incorporates these messages of environmental protection. We want to tour the region, reaching 4,000 people in just 2 weeks. We want to expand out, and we want to also deliver community programmes on our nature reserve we've built. So that can include tree planting, land conservation, water collection. And I know I'm running out of time, but I want to tell you that we know it's going to work because it already is. We've been working on HIV and AIDS, on female circumcision, on all sorts of other issues you can ask me about in the questions, and we're seeing remarkable effects. For example, our female circumcision project, in just 3 years, we're now estimating that 1 in 5 girls is not being cut, from almost universal cutting just 3 years ago. We're having incredible effects because people respond, because they're really cool. They're a really charismatic bunch of people, and we're involving the whole community in this. And with your help and with us and with this team who aren't preachy, there's a chance that we can reach just this community, but also all other Maasai communities. This is completely replicable. We can find the message that really resonates. Sorry.